Hello from me, Lazar Hristov. Welcome to the next lesson in the series, Creating a Website from Scratch. We're working on my latest book, which I haven't uploaded to this site yet, because it's not ready. So I'll show it from my Lazarus site. Because I uploaded it here. It is Master Techniques in 3 and Adaptive and Responsive Design. We have already made a lot of lessons about it. Right now we have reached responsive or flexible text. The next component of modern responsive design is the use of responsive text. This is something that is extremely important for modern design. This is because, for our website to look good, it needs to be able to adapt to different devices. And the text too should be adaptive and adapt to any screen on which it may be opened. So it has to, besides the screen, scale and also adapt to its parent block. However, this is not an easy task. There are several approaches to solving it. Furthermore, there are several components of text that we need to monitor and take care of accordingly. How they will look when enlarged or reduced on the screen. To make everything clear, we will work with examples, and in fact, we will use an example from my previous book, from chapter 28, section 4.1, which looks like this, only now. I've changed it a little bit. You'll see it later, and I'll show you what it looks like. Actually, let me show you it now. Here's what it looks like. Now I've put a different font on it, and with that I'm actually showing how the text changes with adaptability, which is what I wanted to show you. Here, first look at how this change is made with responsive design. You see it on different devices. You can see the text itself as well, how it changes everywhere, in all the blocks that we have. Here's the final example. We'll look at it in a moment, in every aspect. Now for now, in this lesson I'm going to cover just the first aspect. So, you've seen text in 3 places, in the title, in the menu and at the bottom, where the author and the design are. So, to make everything work, we set a value for the font size in relative units. It could be like this, or it could be like this as well. But, if we want it to look the same in all browsers, we will use pixels, because if we set 100% for example, or rem/m, in Opera for example, the default is 18 px, and the default in Mozilla is 16 px. These are not the same, and that's why this is done. To set the same value, we also choose a font family for the main content of our sites. I'm not going to experiment and I'm going to choose two standard and universally supported fonts, Times New Roman and Georgia. Here in this case I include Times New Roman. I chose two serif fonts for two reasons, to show how they look on the screen, and because on this site, serif looks better, in my opinion. Despite the widespread belief that sans serif fonts are better suited for a computer screen, and serif fonts are better suited for a printed book. Interestingly, for the Bulgarian language this is definitely so. Here, look at an example here. This is sans serif. This is serif. The second one is definitely better, while for English it's a bit more controversial. Here's an example with English. Here it is. You see, it probably depends on the perceptions of the particular person, what he will like more. This is actually quite normal. That's it. We set a margin to center it vertically, and we also set a margin like this. Here's the title. But this way vertical centering remains roughly and visually. In fact, until X3 came out, vertical centering was always a problem. There were a few ways to solve it, but they were like hacks, so to speak. They didn't work in all cases and in all situations. Or else they weren't semantically sound. For example, some used display table, but we won't look at them now. We'll actually end this lesson here, and in the next one we'll continue with the same example. I wish you all the best.